You can just give us a little bit of history on what the Blair County Genealogical Society is.
Okay.
What all does it house?
Well, it was formed in 1979 by 10 women in Altoona. Then they moved to the church catty corner from Gables parking lot. Then we moved to St. Leo's for several years. And then in 1998, Mr. Roller donated over $1 million. And and that's when we moved here in 99. The stipulations on the will is that we have to be within 2.5 miles of the courthouse. And that money had strings on it. We could only spend it for library items. So that's that. And then when we moved in here, when we moved to St. Leo's, we had 700 feet of bookshelves, about 12 filing cabinets, and about 700 rolls of microfilm. Now, as you can see, there's more than 12 filing cabinets. We're over 6,000 feet of shelving, 4,000 rolls of microfilm. And we're probably on our third or fourth set of computers. We put a roof on the place. We bought the building, which is about 1.5 acres. A lot of money to remodel. Then we purchased the Hohenstein collection. Most people think the Hohenstein Rental Library in Holliesburg, some people call it Mr. Blair County history, but there was over 4,000 books that we purchased. Then we bought the property next door. So, and there's probably, I would say, about $175,000 worth of bookcases in this place.
And you, at the point right now where you're basically outgrowing your building and you're looking to expand, if you can explain a little bit about what that expansion project is. What is it going to house? And then when do you ultimately hope to begin that project?
Right now, the permit process is what's holding us up. But the problem here is a growing problem. Last year, we put 330 some books on the shelf. And if you look, you get maybe 15 or 20 books to a shelf. How many shelves is that going to take? If we keep doing this, we're going to be overrun. So, and then we get 60, 70 people here for lectures. We have columns in the way. The ceiling's not high enough. The people in the back have to stand, see the bottom of the screen. We do have a PA system. So the problem is twofold. So now we're going to go on that side of the building, 30 by 40, which is as wide as this deep, but from those cabinets to those columns, it'll be 30 by 40, 1,200 square feet, and it'll be no windows, but it'll be just for lectures. And we hope to share it with like the Historical Society and other nonprofits that need places to meet, like the DAR. There's a Trial Garden Club in Holliesburg. That the only other place that's, I would say, maybe free or near free would be the public library.
Now, I know you called us here today because you're about to embark on a fundraising effort to pay for that expansion. If you can talk a little bit about what that fundraising effort is and how much do you have to raise in order to make that expansion a reality?
Yes, this is the kickoff. We are. They told us that it would be around $250,000 to build this building, and once they started, it would only take 2 months. So we're hoping to raise about $175,000 to finish this project. We have already paid for some of the permits, and we have the drawings all done. They're doing the spec sheets right now, and we found out that the property is in. We bought that house next door. The property is in three separate deeds. So we have to wait till they're consolidated because we can't expand because of the setback rules on that property over there.
And how will you be fundraising?
We're going to go on TV, radios, newspapers. I'm going to see if I can get on 814 in the morning. I have numbers of 3 radio stations. Our newsletter will go out in June to like 300 members. And then we have a following on Facebook. I don't know if they'll allow me to do that, but last month we had over 55,000 views in 28 days on our Facebook page.
What is your Facebook page?
Blair County Genealogical Society, Inc. Okay. Oh, one thing too, to make sure, whenever you talk about this is the Blair County Genealogical Society, but This is the Roller Hojeth Memorial Library, because sometimes we forget to say that. We talk about the society, because if it wouldn't have been for Mr. Roller, we would have never been able to do this. And when I go out to speak, which I think last year we did 10 lectures outside of the society, I tell people, listen, this like what's the movie about the Field of Dreams, where they said, build it and they will come. And this, look what happened here. Jokingly, when we first moved in here, the top shelf was empty and the bottom shelf was empty. So we said that the one lady wasn't tall enough to reach the top shelf, and the other lady couldn't reach, she couldn't bend over. But yeah, we're busting at the seams. We've added so much here, and we do a lot of outside work. We help with research for the Hollidaysburg walking tours. We're scanning pictures for the Morrison Cove Herald that go back to 1885. I think we're up at around 8,000. Mm-hmm. We have a negative scanner. We have a document scanner. Our copiers are sheet scanners. We're trying to digitize as much as we can. And this building project has kind of kicked a project that we have to next year, where we want to digitize and PDF newspapers that are on microfilm that are not online, like Bedford from 1805 to 1855, and the Hollidaysburg newspapers are not anywhere online, and we have them starting in 1838. So that way you could come in and search. Also, things that we do on our website under library holdings. Under our library, if you click on obituaries, there's a 700,000 name index of obituaries. Then you have to come here. Plus, we have almost 24,000. There's a card catalog, all the books. You can search by title or an author. That's another in-process project. We don't have the subjects in there yet, but we do. You can search by title or an author to see if the book's here.
So the fundraiser itself is primarily just going to be donation driven?
Correct.
Okay. And I guess the last question that I have for you is, I guess, despite the fact that you're running out of space and you need to expand, running out of space is actually, I guess, maybe a good situation to be in, because after all these years, your collection is still actively growing. That just shows that there's so many people around here with roots to Blair County that are actively involved and interested in the preservation of the county's history.
Correct. And I mentioned before that we had a man pass away in Bedford. His donation was 84 boxes of stuff. A lady went to the home, 44 boxes. Another man that died during COVID, his donation was 90 suitcases. So this stuff has to be all gone through, has to be put in a form that we can put it on the shelf. And then if people donate books, we keep 3 copies. We keep 2 copies. If we get the 3rd copy, we keep the 2 best, and then the 3rd, then we have used book sales, which we had one last fall, and there's one just about finished right now. And we publish over 190 books, funeral homes, church records, histories, and they're listed on our website. And we print them here too. That's another thing with this money from Mr. Roller. We had the money to buy a big copier upstairs. The lady's nicknamed her Bertha. But we print newsletters for other people, and you can come here and get a book printed if you want 5 copies. If you go to a publisher, you have to get 500 or 1,000.